1 second, she'll tell you.
Okay, you're live.
Okay, welcome to the October 20th Scottsdale Report of Commission meeting.
Make sure you use the mic.
Excuse me. Activate the mic, please.
Sorry, welcome to the October 20th Scottsdale Airport Advisory Commission meeting. Can we have a roll call?
Yes, Commission Chair John Barry,
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Charles McDermott,
Present.
Commissioner Corey Little,
Present.
Commissioner Larry Varnowski,
Present.
Commissioner Peter Meyer,
Present.
Commissioner Rick Milburn,
Here.
and Commissioner Ken Casey, I believe, is joining us through Zoom.
You there?
Yes, Ken Casey is on.
Good, thanks.
Thank you.
We have a pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Aviation Director's Report.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission. Welcome to the October 20th meeting. It's fall here, and we're getting very, very busy out there. Peek out the window. We're going to have lots of operations occurring. Just wanted to quickly brief you on that we did attend the National Business Aviation Association convention last week, and Sarah's going to give you a slight briefing on that today. And then next month, we're going to provide you a little bit of more of a detailed presentation, what the marketing metrics and such are. So we don't have too much to tell you today. She's going to give you a quick overview. The only other item I'm going to bring up that I'm going to steal Mr. Reed's thunder a little bit is that we're really, really close to opening up those new box hangers down at the end. We have one more minor issue. We're hoping maybe by end of this week, if not very early next week, and they'll be transferred over to the ownership. So that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Gary. Approval of minutes for the September 15th meeting. Commissioners looked at them. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a vote.
A vote, please, is Chair Barry,
Aye.
Vice Chair McDermott,
Aye.
Commissioner Bernowski, Commissioner Casey,
Aye.
Commissioner Little,
Aye.
Commissioner Meyer,
Aye.
Commissioner Milburn.
Aye. Passes. Thank you. Do we have any public comments tonight? No public comments. The regular agenda. Item number 1, discussion and possible action regarding application for a license for H5 Productions. And Carmen will talk to us about it, but Carmen's not here.
That is correct, Mr. Chair. I'm going to play the role of Carmen Williams tonight,
Okay,
so
good.
don't judge.
Tell us about it.
I have a script, but I'm not going to really read it because you'll yell at me for it. But H5 Productions has been operating out of this airport quite some time, and they're requesting an Airpark Aeronautical Business Permit to conduct helicopter specialized commercial flying services. They're operating both in the airport and the airpark, but based in the airpark. H5 Helicopters does aerial and commercial filming, as well as specialize in unique tours using an Airbus AS350 Helo that holds up to 5 passengers. They've been around a while, and they've started to conduct special charter flights in partnership with the Volante restaurant. They met the requirements of the Aeronautical Business Permit, and Mr. Nelson Rudd, their Director of Operations, is on the phone to answer any questions that you may have about their operations.
Thank you, Gary. Anybody have any questions?
This is Commissioner Little. How many aircraft are they operating total?
Mr. Rudd, if you're on the phone, if you could respond to that, that would be wonderful.
I do not see Mr. Root on the line. It doesn't look like he called, but yeah, I don't see a number for him on the line. He was given the
Mr.
information.
Chair, Commissioner Little, I mean, it is your choice if you'd like to ratify their permit or wait until another time. We can delay this permit for next month when you have an authorized representative.
They've been operating here for a while, though, correct?
They have. They're just added on the special air charters.
Okay, so you guys know these people and they've done a good job so far?
We're aware of them, yes, they're fine.
I don't have a problem with that. Somebody wants to make a motion?
Is there a requirement that they be present?
There is no requirement to be present. That is a choice purely for the Airport Advisory Commission.
Point of information on the application, would it make sense to ask the number of aircraft?
We could, typically, again, we'd like to have them come because it's usually a lot more questions, but we could, sure. Mr. Chair, Commissioner Bernowski, no, they're authorized by the city code right now to operate pending a ratification. So if you don't ratify for some reason, then their permit would go to the next level, to the council, which has never happened in my career.
So
But
gentlemen, would anybody want to wait, or we want to vote tonight?
Is it a third down business-wise?
Yeah. Is that a motion then, Larry?
I move that we defer until we have considered.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll make a second, Charlie.
Get a vote, Gary?
Okay, the vote is, Chair Barry?
Yeah, aye. Let's vote aye.
Aye, you'll defer. Vice Chair McDermott already voted. Mr. Bernowski made the motion. Commissioner Casey?
Nay.
Commissioner Little? Aye. Commissioner Meyer?
Aye.
Commissioner Milborn?
Restate the motion, please. I couldn't hear it down here.
The motion is to defer the ratification of the aeronautical business permit until next month, where a representative could be here to answer the questions.
Nay.
Okay, you've got that count for me?
Oh, so we have 5 to 2.
5 to 2, the vote passes to defer.
So we'll revisit that next meeting. Agenda item number 2, an update from Arizona Business Aviation Association.
Okay, it sounds like you guys can hear me. Thank you guys for having me tonight. My name is Douglas Young. I'm the current president of the Arizona Business Aviation Association. Pleasure to be back. From the sounds of it, we haven't been giving you guys an update in a little while maybe. So a lot's happened since the last update, I believe, that we've been handling. One of the big things that's happened was COVID. Like many of us, unfortunately, that delayed a lot of the stuff we were going to do. But guess what? We're back up and running better than ever, and we're ready to tackle new things. So on the screen here, you're going to see our website, azba.org, where you can find more information about us and everything that's upcoming. A little background about AZBA for those of you who don't know. We are the local business aviation organization in the state of Arizona. We deal directly with MBAA on a national level, and they rely on us on a regional level to report back any business aviation issues that might be occurring in our state. Luckily, right now, Arizona is a very growing territory for business aviation. We have a lot of airplanes incoming. As you can see, if you look out the windows here at Scottsdale Airport, we're thankful to be in such a welcoming environment right now where there's other states that airplanes are leaving to come here. So as far as regional issues go right now, there's none that really come to our attention that have been brought to our attention lately. But a lot of the things we focus on are obviously our member engagement and getting those involved in our business aviation community out here in our area. We also collaborate with other regional groups across the Southwest region as well as across the United States. But our primary focus is our member engagement, which we host meetings the third Tuesday of every month, usually. After MBAA, normally we put this month on pause due to the conference and convention. A lot of people are traveling, and I think many of us that went there are still playing catch up this week. So our next meeting will likely be our holiday party in December, but more about our meetings, we usually get local groups in, local business aviation companies in the Valley, which, as you guys know, there's a handful of us out here and growing. So we try to make our members more aware of the current companies in the area and allow those companies to come in and sponsor our lunch meetings, provide our members with a lunch, and then talk about their products or their business and kind of their future plans, and give them a chance to network with other industry professionals. On top of our member meetings, we do have our golf benefit, which is a big part of our organization. And if you guys look here, we just recently held our 2021 annual golf benefit, and I got to say, it went really well. We're really excited about the outcome of it. For those of you that did attend, I think everybody had a really good time. We were the first golf benefit, regional group golf benefit, to be hosted throughout NBAA and the regional groups in the country. So we had a lot of people come into town for this. There's a video that Jet Set Magazine, we're thankful, put together for us. If you want to watch more about it, please go ahead and visit that link right there on our website. But one of the main goals of our golf tournament is obviously to raise money for our scholarship committee. The golf benefit raised this year, we raised the most money we've ever raised in history. We raised about $50,000. So we're really excited about that. That really allows us to give out more scholarships to not only students, but those who wish to pursue a career in business aviation. It's, like I said, we get a lot of people that think it's a student-only scholarship, which it's not. So if anybody here, you want to pursue a degree or a career in business aviation or expand your career and become a pilot or whatnot, that's definitely a scholarship to consider. The annual scholarship amount we give out is about $2,500, so we make sure it's a good enough amount for those to at least get them to the next level. It's not, just a small amount of $500. We want to make an impact. So we feel like that amount really allows us to make the impact we want. This year, we're probably going to give away about 6 to 7 scholarships in the amount of $2,500. So we're really excited about that. We are now accepting scholarships for fall of 2021 at this time. The deadline is November 12th. So please, if you know anybody who's interested and who wants to get involved with business aviation, we highly recommend them to consider our scholarship and to learn more about it. So it is a application process, and then after the applications, we have a scholarship committee of about 4 people. They'll review it, and then from there on out, we filter it down to interviews, and then from the interviews, we whittle it down to the winners. So we normally give away about 5. This year, we're targeting probably 7, maybe even 8. It just depends. So that deadline closes November 12th. As well as our scholarship, we also are revisiting our annual safety day, which is coming up here very rapidly. November 11th will be the date. And what that safety day does is, we haven't held one in quite a while, I believe 8 years now. And we're trying to bring that back and give those who are in our industry an opportunity to earn CAM credit and then aviation maintenance technician credit as well. So the safety day will be held here at Scottsdale Airport on November 11th. We're thankful to be here, and thank you to the airport for allowing us to do this here. So we're, looking for sponsors to keep this safety day growing. We anticipate about 120 attendees, and then companies at this time, it just really varies from safety companies to OEMs too. Again, AZBA, we're a local regional group here. We'd love to have everybody involved we can. We can't keep up with the growing demand in this valley of everybody moving out here in terms of business aviation-wise. So if you've never heard of us, you want to learn more about us, please come on over. We'd love to have you at our meetings. It's a great opportunity to meet everybody in this area. It's just all around a great time. And we do host happy hours occasionally too. I know everybody appreciates a good happy hour, so we'd love to see you guys there. But we really appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to present here today and kind of give you our update. If there's anything else you'd like to learn or know about AZBA, I'm always here to help. I always say, I love doing this. It's a lot of fun. I wish I could do this full time too sometimes, but I don't know if my girlfriend would like that. But thank you again. So please let me know if you have any questions. And you guys have been great for us.
Is flight training part of the curriculum or the scholarship?
Yeah. So we do get a lot of our application for the scholarship are from students. The majority of them are. We're trying to really tell people, it's not just for the students too. But yes, a lot of the students will get money to use towards their credit. We issue the checks directly to the educational institution. We don't just give them right to them, because college kids, we all know what they'd be doing. But yeah, flight training is definitely, one year, and I did not mention, one year we actually did a collaboration with Flight Safety, and we actually gave away a Lear 35 type rating. So we're working to bring that back too. So with COVID, we didn't really get to do that again, but that was one of the cool scholarships we gave away, and that was only one.
Yeah, Doug, of course, we're aware of your organization. Do you have any idea of what type of membership you have in this region nationally?
In terms of AZBA membership, we have about 150 members. Corporations-wise, I'd probably say, that kind of falls under the corporations too. So 150 to 200 about, again, with COVID kind of scared people away a little bit. We're starting to bring people back, and on average, our meetings will have about 50 people, 50 to 70, depending, it really depends on the meeting too. Anybody in this industry, you guys all know, our schedules are changing on an hourly basis. So, we'll get 75 people that'll register and about 50 to 60 to attend. Yeah.
Any other questions?
All right, thanks, Doug.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Number 3, airport and airpark business permit additions. Gary.
Mr. Chair, since we did not approve H5 Productions, that list would not have been there, so I'll just defer that because the only change on that list would have been H5's inclusion as the part of the overall aeronautical business permittees.
Got it. Thank you, Gary. Chris, monthly operations report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Monthly operations report for September. You can see the based aircraft numbers, the total 468 for this current month, and last year, same month, 477, so not much of a change. Operational numbers down below that, you can see the total ops for September of 2020, 16,000, and 14,000 some change for this year, down 10% on that monthly change. Then next, the year-to-date numbers, and of course we're still recovering from our runway closure in July and August, so we're still down 17.9%, but I think that'll come up pretty close to zero by the end of the year. IFR numbers are looking good. Last year 4046 compared to this year at 4582, up 13%. And also the IFR numbers year-to-date compared to last year are 19.7, up 19.7%. Just a couple alerts during the month. A couple incidents there, 4 incidents listed out there. And if you ever have any questions on the incidents or enforcements, of course, please ask. And then moving to the enforcement actions, just a few enforcement actions. You may notice we did have one security violation where somebody propped a gate, and it was the first violation was verbal. Probably would have been a little bit more severe if we had been able to catch this person. It was a transient pilot that skipped out on us real quick before we could have more of a conversation with them. So down below that is the U.S. Customs report. So the revenue for the month was $55,875. A whole bunch of operations there, 97 for the month. U.S. visits at 24, and then you can see the nationalities of the folks who were on those 24 flights. And then the yearly comparison of, we're just about tied with last year as far as customs, with the 88,250 and the 87,400. But the uses were way up compared to last year, so we must have had a lot of bigger aircraft this year as opposed to last year, which I do see out the window every day, lots of big ones coming in. Total uses fiscal year to date, starting July 1st of this year, 159, and last year it was 169, again, runway closure July to August. So we got to kind of keep in mind we had the runway closures this year, but we had COVID the year before, so it's kind of awkward years to compare. So PPRs for aircraft over 75,000 pounds are at 47, which is actually not bad. Those are catching up. It took a while because typically those are mostly international hops that are going out over 75,000 pounds. And finally, the attachment, where you can see the operational numbers there lined out for you on the graph. And we all know what the big dip was there in July, and we're coming back up to normal very nicely. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Hey, Chris, it's Corey. On those fuel spills that get recorded, are those self-reported fuel spills?
Commissioner Little, the requirements in our rules and regs require our fuel dispenser, FBO types, that they have to call us when they spill fuel. So it's one of our rules. They're pretty good at it. We also have another rule, if a spill is over a certain size, they also have to call 911 to get the fire department guys over here. So, kind of self-reported, but required by our rules.
Yeah, I guess my only comment, the reason I asked the question, my comment is that, I don't know why I pay attention to this or why this all sticks out, but I see often fuel spills at Ross Aviation on the list, and I'm just wondering if that's a function of the self-reporting aspect of it, and maybe it's happening as often over at Signature or other places that it's not being reported, or is there something special about that location over there that is, or personnel or something that, I know you've done training, that you've had to go back and retrain those guys in the past. What is is there any way to tell what special cause might be for them showing up on the list so frequently?
I would say that they have not established the anti-fuel spill culture as well as the other FBOs.
Is it time for a revisit or a re-education?
The boss and I were talking about that about an hour ago.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Harmony, I mean, Vera.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission.
You're welcome.
I have a report to share with you about the monthly financials. In the upper right corner, our revenues and expenses year to date. The approved budget for revenues was $764,000, but our actuals came in at about $1 million. On the expense side, our budget was $554K, and actuals were lower at $372. So the August monthly comparison doesn't look so nice, as we kind of explained to you last month, due to the reverse accruals for revenues received this fiscal year, but really fall into the prior fiscal year. We collect a lot of revenues this fiscal year that actually were from after the fact, mostly our business permits and such. So you'll notice that. So this is normal, and it usually happens, and it takes a few months to make some adjustments. Plus, of course, we had the runway closure and lower revenues, so it even looks a little worse. But on the left-hand side, the aviation fund cash balance is at minus $1.5 million as of August 30th. This is a negative number is due to a couple ongoing capital projects, including the box hangars and runway reconstruction. In August, we were in the middle of an $11 million runway project and paying out those large invoices. Then we asked for the FAA for the reimbursement. So this is probably the first time I've seen in 11 years that we go to the minus, but Mr. Reed does a very good job requesting the grant funds very quickly, and we usually get it within less than a week. So the check's in the mail, exactly. In the middle of the report is the accounts receivable. We're doing great on that as always. In the bottom half of the report, our fuel forward stats. Runway closure again was an impact, meaning lower fuel sales as expected. For the year to date though, we're down about 22.7%, but we absolutely expect to recover and certainly exceed that number over last year and the year before. So again, overall this monthly report doesn't look pretty, but we anticipate these dips and should be okay over the next few months based on the adjustments of the accruals. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So you're saying it's cyclic?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Gary. Sarah, would you give us the quarterly noise complaint summary?
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. We're caught up now, so this noise report will focus on the third quarter, which covers the time period from July to September 2021. For this time period, we had 5 callbacks, 2 emails, for a total of 7. This is outside of the noise complaint hotline number. And to give you kind of a rundown on our noise report, we have the total complainant summary. For the third quarter, we had 25 repeat complainants, 10 new complainants for a total of 35. And here we have the table that shows a comparison of the number of complaints from 2020 to 2021. And of course, we do have the one complainant who has submitted thousands of complaints. So we've extracted that number to give you kind of this representation. So you can see for 2021, when we extract that number, we have about 166 complaints, and that would compare to 2020 at 250. So we are actually showing a decrease in the number of complaints, but keep in mind we had the runway rehab project too for 39 days as well. And we did not receive a noise complaint during that time period. So that kind of gives,
The thing on next door, this thing went on fire. It's crazy about complaining, like the airplanes were flying all the time and 100 stuff. I don't know whether that, but it does seem like it reaches your desk to for them to do anything.
correct, Commissioner Bernowski. And we also had that article that went into, that kind of highlighted one of the noise complainers in the area. So I think that maybe kind of rattled everything, and especially on Nextdoor, because I saw a few different conversations happening on Nextdoor about it, but it really didn't reflect here on our numbers. And always I like to kind of show the grid that shows where those complaints are generating from, and I highlight kind of our top three generally. And this is pretty much status quo. You can see where a majority of the complaints are coming from, as well as kind of followed by like the B7 grid, which is kind of Bell and 56th Street in a sense, and then also in C8. And that's pretty much been kind of status quo here for the last few quarters. So just moving along, we keep track of this historically as well. So from 1999 all the way down to 2021 here, you can see the complaints. I've also taken the time to kind of just reflect that as well. So you see the little asterisks, and down below in 2021, I kind of show you the representation of the number of complaints. So if you compare those two, we're at about 958 complaints right now, which is actually less than the same time period last year. So we'll see how we kind of round out the year. With that, that concludes my presentation, unless you have any questions for me.
Yeah, one question, the person that complains thousands of times, are those emails, phone calls, what are they?
So Chair and Commissioners, we receive those complaints through the online website. So they're submitted online and generally kept open, so I do see them.
Are they timestamped, just out of curiosity?
Yes, they do have that.
You know who it is?
I do.
Is there any way to, this is Commissioner?
Thousands and thousands from one person. Why?
Is anybody thought, is perhaps they have a bot doing this for them? Is there any way to, you know if they have a bot, or we have anti-bot?
Yeah. Chair and Commissioners, I have kind of raised this concern with IT just because of the sheer number of complaints we've received. The interesting thing is there are some unique characteristics to each complaint, so we get each tail number. So I don't know if somebody's figured out how to do that, or if it really is somebody that's meticulously, generating each complaint. Our IT department didn't believe at this point in time, because of those unique things on each complaint, that it was generated like that, but I'm not sure yet at this point, so we'll keep on it.
It happened just at one time, that number.
Chair and Commissioner, that's on a daily basis pretty much. We get hundreds of complaints.
But I mean, the one by the one person, was that just an isolated time, or is that still ongoing?
Oh, that's still ongoing.
It's been going on for months.
Oh, yeah. I think it actually generates back to 2020, about mid-year is when it started.
Same person?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Okay, thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Next, Sarah, you're up to the public outreach programs. I understand you're going to talk about the Vegas convention next meeting, not as much this meeting.
Correct. Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. Yeah, I will, we just got back on Friday, so I'll kind of sift through some of the different things about our show and the leads and the people that stop by our booth. So I'll go ahead and give a better update next meeting. But for now, just to give you a quick highlight, for the voluntary curfew letters, we sent out 2. These are the after-hours complaints when we can connect the flights. So 2 were sent out in September. We also keep track of the property developments that are going through the planning department that are within the airport influence area. And for September, we had 1 project listed in that report. We continue our efforts to share on social media and listservs. Hopefully that you have seen some of those. One of the most recent ones was about Cirrus Aviation coming, and their owners came, and there were like 100 of Cirrus aircraft, so we took a picture and posted that. It was really kind of a neat deal. And then I had already mentioned the article on airport noise that was featured or at least included in the Scottsdale Progress. And then again, yes, I will tell you more about NBAA convention next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Administrative report from the Aviation Director, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. As always, we always provide these updates for you on the airport advisory commission items that went to city council. As you can see on the list, all of the items got approved, including the most recent couple, which was the lease amendment for Volante to take over the space, as well as the airport security improvements fence contract award, which Chris is working on the final contract documents, and then you'll start seeing the construction report hopefully soon. On the next list is the aviation-related items, Planning Commission, Design Review Board, or City Council that may impact the airport in some way. No real updates at this point. Everything's seen. You're seeing a lot of new, exciting action items that are on the list, like a new corporate hangar for SetJet and the Falcon's Nest hangar, which had an article in the Air Park News recently. But no updates other than that. And then finally, the 2021 City Council meeting calendar as it states today, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Where's the SetJet hangar going to be?
They submitted an application out of Gate 1, which is right off of like Greenway Road area on the south end of Gate 1's airport.
Existing hangar or a new hangar?
It would be a new build.
Oh, wow.
New build.
Business is good.
Thanks, Gary. Item number 9, discussion of possible action to modify the commission meetings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. As always, we provide this as an action item. Attached is the schedule of the upcoming meetings for November and December, and this is your opportunity to make any changes if you so choose.
We don't have any. Future agenda items. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up for the next meeting? I think we can adjourn.
That is correct. Thank you.
Thanks.
Looks like we're done. I'll go